Hi, hello, welcome to my YouTube lectures. This is Professor Raju Rolkanti, Department of ECE, St. Peter's Engineering College and UGC Autonomous Engineering College in Hyderabad. As you know, I am giving lectures in the subject electromagnetic field theory and waves. I am giving today Unit 2, Magnetostatics. The topic is Biot-Savart's law. Unit 2 in electromagnetic field theory, Unit 2 is magnetostatics. Today's topic is Biot-Savart's law. You see here BIOT Savart's apostrophe S law. Don't spell this one as Biot-Savart law. It is not correct pronunciation. It is Biot-Savart's law. Biot-Savart's law. Some brief introduction for that one is, what is a magnetostatic? I want to tell you. How this magnetostatic field is produced, I want to tell you. An electrostatic field is produced by static or stationary charges. If the charges are moving with constant velocity, a static magnetic field is produced. A static magnetic field that is produced is known as magnetostatic field. I want to tell you what is magnetostatic field. A static magnetic field is known as magnetostatic field. A magnetostatic field is produced by a constant current flow. The constant current flow means direct current. The magnetostatic field is produced by DC current. This current flow may be due to magnetization currents, as in permanent magnets. Some examples I want to mention here. Electron beam currents, as in vacuum tubes. Conduction currents, as in current carrying wires. The development of motors, transformers, microphones, compasses, telephone bell rings, television focusing, advertising displays, magnetically levitated high-speed vehicles, memory stores, magnetic separators, etc. involve magnetic phenomena. Coming to the Biot-Savart's law, you see the figure here. Magnetic field at point P due to current element ideal. This is a current carrying conductor, a straight conductor in that I current is flowing. I want to take a small elementary length dl. I want to find out the magnetic field at point P at a distance r. You see here at a dl point, if I draw a tangential that makes an angle alpha with the line joining point P to the element. Alpha is an angle subtended at line joining P to element and tangential at dl. Biot-Savart's law states that the magnetic field intensity produced at a point by the differential current element is proportional to the product of ideal and the sign of the angle alpha between the element and the line joining P to the element, and also that is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between P and the element. Here I can say mathematically by Savart's law, electromagnetostatic field, the field magnetic field intensity dH, that is proportional to ideal and also proportional to sin alpha and inversely proportional to r square. Therefore, dH is equal to k ideal sin alpha by r square, where k is the constant of proportionality. In SI units, the value of k may be 1 by 4 pi. Therefore, the equation 2 becomes dH is equal to, you see here k is wrong, you just don't note down the k, it is wrongly printed there. dH is equal to ideal sin alpha by 4 pi r square. Ideal sin alpha we can write like this, dH is equal to ideal cross AR by 4 pi r square, that is equal to ideal cross R by 4 r cube. I want to explain how the current field's direction, the electromagnetic field direction. If you want to understand, there are two rules. One is right hand rule and the other one is right hand screw rule. Here there is a current carrying conductor. The I current is flowing in upward direction. The direction of dH can be determined by right hand rule with the right hand thumb. The right hand thumb pointing in the direction of the current, the right hand fingers encircling the wire in the direction of dH. Here screw advances upwards, that is current direction. The screw moves, the movement of the screw is the current of the direction of the dH. Different charge configurations, we have different current distributions. You see here, there are three different current distributions are there. In figure A, it is a line current distribution, surface current distribution, volume current distribution. The current I is flowing in a line. Here KDS, IDL is the current element, KDS is the current element here, JDV is the current element. If we define K as the surface current density and J as the volume current density, the source elements are related. Ideal is identically equal to KDS is identically equal to JDV. Thus, in terms of distributed current sources, the Biot-Savart's law becomes H is equal to line integral of ideal cross AR by 4 pi r square. This is for line current. H is equal to surface integral KDS cross AR by 4 pi r square. This is for surface current. And H is equal to volume integral JDV cross AR by 4 pi r square. This is for volume integral. By using these three equations, 6, 7, 8, we can find the line current, surface current and volume current. I want to show you an example. The field due to a straight current carrying filamentary conductor of finite length AB. We assume that the conductor is along the z-axis with its upper and lower ends subtending angles alpha and alpha 2 and alpha 1 respectively at P. The point at which magnetic field intensity is to be determined. You see here, this is in the z direction. A and B are the finite length, dl is the current element, I is current flowing. This is at origin I am taking. You see here there is a cross mark at point P that shows the magnetic field is into the page. That means it is rotating from left side to right side, like that. If we consider the contribution of dH at P due to an element dl, therefore at origin 0, z, dH is equal to idl cross r by 4 pi r cube, but dl is equal to dz az and r is equal to rho a rho minus z az. I want to find out dl cross r, that is equal to rho dz a phi. Therefore, I want to find out H magnetic field intensity by integrating that. By substituting that I rho dz a phi by 4 pi into rho square plus z square whole to the power of 3 by 2. Let z is equal to rho cot alpha dz, then the dz becomes minus rho cosecant square alpha dz. By substituting all these values in the equation, H is equal to minus I by 4 phi into alpha 1 to alpha 2 rho square cosecant square alpha d alpha by rho cube cosecant cube alpha. By simplifying, we are getting H is equal to minus I by 4 pi rho integral alpha 1 to alpha 2 sin alpha d alpha. That is becoming, after substituting alpha 1 value and alpha 2 value here, H is equal to I by 4 pi rho into cos alpha 2 minus cos alpha 1 in the direction of A phi. A special case, when the conductor is semi-infinite, so that point A is now at origin and while B is at infinity, then alpha 1 becomes 90 degrees and alpha 2 becomes 0, and the equation 12 becomes H is equal to I by 4 pi rho A phi. That is one special case. Another special case is when the conductor is infinite length. For this case, point A becomes to 0, 0 minus infinity and B is at 0, 0 plus infinity, and alpha 1 is at 180 degrees, alpha 2 is 0 degrees, and that equation becomes H is equal to I by 2 phi rho. Thank you very much. See you.